tune in if you want to hear. So we have Chad, Josh, Dmitri, and Marcus every Friday.
It's the Square Round Table.
Tune in.
It's the Square Round Table podcast. Let's have a blast. I know at work you had a long day. Just relax and tune in.
We live. All right. Welcome back, our freaks and geeks, for another movie review. We're doing a movie review of The Flash and of the new Transformers movie, Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast.
So which one do you want to tackle first?
Obviously, I see the background.
Yeah,
we're gonna hit a little flashy flash.
Where do you want to start with this Flash movie? How do you want to handle the conversation? Because we could all start from the beginning if you want. Just hit it from the beginning.
Yeah, because even though it's a lot that happened in this movie, it's real. What I have to say is not much because it's a lot going on, but at the same time, it's not because it's going on. So
yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you good? Sorry,
yeah,
kind of
I don't know.
A little bit.
I don't know what's going on with that. There's been technical difficulties everywhere.
It's okay,
I've been seeing other people have problems too.
Okay, we'll make it through.
Yeah, we're gonna fight through it for y'all.
We're gonna fight the battle, but one thing I'm gonna mention is what was I gonna say before I got interrupted was like I like how they definitely hinted to a lot of his powers in him having to be like full carbohydrated and stuff like that. It was like very crucial, and it wasn't something that they just forgot about.
Yeah.
Even the other Barry had the same exact problem. He was like, I need to eat food for it. So I thought that was really cool. I think his slow-mo stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely got better.
Yeah. I will say his run it's grown on me.
Yeah, it's still I don't know. It grew on me a little bit, but it's still
hard to like because he does this thing with his fingers and it weirds me out every single time, that little 2-finger thing he does.
I really think that's what throws me off is this whole thing like
this. He does that.
Nobody runs like that.
Nobody runs like that at all.
Video and then he'll be standing there and then he'll just go and just run.
Just take off. Like he does that whole little standstill thing, and then
but this one, he be
doing this like arrow.
Do a Naruto move or something,
With the starting jutsu thing.
Yes, that run it still gotta grow on me. I guess I was okay with it because I had already seen it before. So it wasn't like it was something that I'd never seen, and I was just like, "Oh my god, it's so ugly." You know how you get used to like that one person in your friend group, and you just know what they expect. It was just like, I know how he's finna run.
I know exactly how he's gonna look. It's gonna look a little bit goofy. It's okay,
but
he all right.
But speaking of like the whole like overall feel of it and the look, the costumes were good. I did like his costume. It was a more Flash, like accurate, like costume, like suit.
It looked weird on him though, a little bit.
It did. It looked tight as hell.
It did, and he mentioned mentioned that immediately,
which I thought was funny as hell that he said that.
He was like, where I'm talking about, in the crotch area. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I thought that was interesting.
How'd you like the newer, the second Flash's, his proto suit, his bat suit proto thing?
I thought it was actually cool that he put that together with a old Michael Keaton bat suit.
I liked it, but at the same time, there were certain angles I was just like, I don't need to see that angle. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was wonky at some sort of times, but I did the idea behind it, and I liked it. It looked better the more I saw it. I was like, okay, you know what? It's not too bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I definitely dig my boy Michael Keaton's bat suit. And bro, can we talk about how fucking like fast he was with the combat, bro?
Oh, it's thinking that
like a damn ninja, bro. I was like, I want more of this Batman, bro. He was moving quick, like
he was.
Ben Affleck, he was more like a bruiser, like rock bottoming people and punching the shit out of him. This Batman was like, block, and then I was like, damn,
he blocked. Quick. He threw a batarang. It hit the dude. Then the guy was hiding behind the little post. He hit the little grappling hook, pulled him out, and I was like, and then smacked him. I was like, oh, that was nice.
Even when they first introduced him, and he had the whole like old man hermit look. He was kicking their ass then.
Yeah, he was. Like he had one flip flop on and was like messing him up.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Most
Oh,
definitely.
but I liked the Affleck suit in this movie. That thing was sick.
Yeah, it was. And then what about Batman being out in the daytime too, bro? That was different. We got to see that old Brucey out in the day, frolicking
Right?
with the common folk.
Nah, the one thing I liked is like the universe that like Keaton was from had no crime, so like Batman would like given up, well not given up, but he put the cowl up and he was like chilling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he lost his Alfred somewhere and stuff like that. You could tell.
And I like the Easter egg of Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, the
little
last thing.
pouch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Despite all the crap with Ezra Miller, he did okay as both Barrys.
He did.
It was good.
There's some moments that I was
He
just like
still
kind of just go ahead.
I was just saying he's still annoying as hell.
Yeah, there was some moments where I was
yeah.
just like, this is cringe a little bit. Like a lot of the lines that came from his like other person, I was like, I'm getting annoyed, and I know he's getting annoyed, and everybody's getting annoyed by him just like consistently talking. But then he actually got like a little taste of his own medicine, like how other people see him, and like he snapped on himself. He was like, I get it now, and I was like, I'm glad you get that because everybody's a little annoyed with how you talk and how stuff like that, and how you're just like wired. Like he's not like your typical Barry. And I've always said that though. Like he's not the Barry that I'm used to.
Yeah.
But he didn't do a bad job. But I like that. What was I gonna say? I like that the 18-year-old one was just like a kid in the candy shop. He would go do all the stupid things, and he wouldn't even let the older Barry tell him, "Hey, you need to do this." He would just take off.
He was just like, "Nope, I'm finna run out in the street, not even knowing I'm gonna burn my damn clothes off in the process."
That shit was funny.
Yeah, but just for the viewers out there, this was Michael Keaton's first time reprising the role of Batman in 32 years. No, 31 years, because I'm 32, so it's 31 years. And a lot of people was on the edge with this film because all the stuff behind it, and then James Gunn coming into DC and cleaning the slate and stuff and not knowing what's gonna happen. But honestly, whether it was gonna be good or not, I was gonna go see it because Michael Keaton was in it. I ain't care about nothing else. I ain't care about who, what, where, when, how they was gonna do whatever. I just wanted to see my boy come back because I stand by it, and I won't. Nobody can knock me down and make me think anything other that Michael Keaton is the best Batman out of all of them. I don't care what nobody say, bro.
All right, man. You're lucky Chad ain't on the call because I swear he would be
Man, Chad
Batfleck.
always be trying to
Batfleck
combat me
would
with
be.
that Batfleck junk, but I like Batfleck, but he ain't touching Michael Keaton, bro.
He's not. Michael Keaton. No, definitely.
Michael Keaton was the first person to really embody what Bruce Wayne would really be about. If a dude dresses in a bat suit and fights crime at night, he's gonna be socially awkward with people because he's been traumatized. So he still hasn't figured out how to deal with people. And then of course, if you stay in a big ass house by yourself all day with just you and your butler, and then you go out and fight crime in a bat suit, you're not gonna be able to know how to interact with people. And I like how he portrayed him. He made Bruce Wayne feel really awkward.
Yeah, he did.
He wasn't comfortable in that skin, but when he was Batman, he was like comfortable. He did what he had more personality. So that's what I always liked about the way Keaton portrayed it. And it's even in this movie, he still kept that same. It almost felt like you picked up where you left off with him, and it felt like he didn't miss a beat. It didn't feel like it was an actor coming back into the role after a few years. It felt like he never left. So I definitely appreciated that. I just had to get on my soapbox about one of the best Batman.
Yeah, of course. I knew we were gonna get some Keaton.
I will go at it with y'all out there, my freaks and geeks. I will go at it all day with.
We'll get some bells in the comments. You know we are.
He alright, but he ain't touching Mike, man. Mike is. It's the reason why his name is Michael. All the Michaels are the goats, man. Y'all better recognize.
All the Michaels are the goats.
All the Mikes are the goats, man.
I can't disagree with that. He even gave us a teaser of some other costumes he had, some other cows that he had. A lot of them I was like, I want to see a a movie with those. But I know we're probably never gonna get like another Keaton Batman centered movie because he's older. Two of the movies are going in a different direction, so I don't even know really what to take from the new Batman that we got at the end of the movie, or sorry, we got Keaton at the end of the movie. I don't really know what to take with the swap of what's if it's going to even be relevant to the new plan of DC and stuff like that. I will, and the other super powered characters and villains in the movie did a really good job. Like Kara did good. The actress that played Kara, she did really fucking good. Yeah.
I love how she was like hesitant to help the humans because of what they did to her. And I like how they told her like it is some like shitty humans here, but it's some good ones too. And when she saw that and had that moment of clarification, it was like, okay, these people do need help because some of them out here who are actually good people. But I just love how like her whole she wasn't just I'm finna go help. She was like, nah, let me go and fly away for a minute and think about this.
Yeah, she went and checked out the view and saw how things were going.
Yeah.
She was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I might want to help these people out. But I also like that they did a little nod to the actual Flashpoint movie where they made him like have to get shocked twice.
Yes, bro. I was so nervous that they wasn't gonna do that. And when I seen him when he was talking about it, I was like, oh, they actually gonna do it like Flashpoint and he gonna get struck by lightning. I was like, that's freaking awesome. Then I was like, it's even better that she took him up there and did it. So I was like, that's pretty cool. They stuck a lot actually to like Flashpoint. They use a lot of Flashpoint stuff in there.
They did with all the different. They changed a lot of different things, especially of how he gets into the Speed Force and stuff like that. It was weird, but not like in a bad way. How he like slows down in that blue space, and then like he gets into the. I think they call it like he called it like a. I wouldn't say speedball, but essentially it was like a spherical thing. And I was like, oh, so they're gonna do that instead of a traditional treadmill or like him just running. Like they were like, okay, it's a spirit
which
thing.
was cool.
Yeah,
because
agreed.
it was like, okay, that's how he sees stuff when it's like slowing down and you can see what's gonna happen. And I like how they like made it very like simple. It wasn't over complicated because a lot of times shit could just get too overly complicated and you just be after a while you be taken out of it and you be like, oh, here we go. But yeah, I did like that. I gotta ask you this. We own the stuff that we liked about it. The CGI, right?
Oh, wait, would you say in the beginning you cut out this time? So I didn't know what you
I was saying a lot of people were complaining about the CGI.
I thought a lot of people were complaining about that distorted scene, like the ones where he's in the speed.
And that's what they was they were talking about that. But I felt like it wasn't a problem because when he first went into the little speed, we're just gonna call it a speedball because we don't remember what he called it.
I'm gonna call it a speed spear.
Yeah, speed spear. Y'all can correct us or whatever. I don't care. But when he was in there and we saw how it looked, I got what it was supposed to be like. It's not supposed to be like super realistic because he's seeing a mini version of the multiverse, like what's gonna happen or what happened in the past. So I get why it looked the way it looked, and then plus you got to show multiple images, and that costs a lot of freaking money to do that with like real people, face scans and all that. So I was like, it didn't look bad. It was done on purpose. Like it'd be different if that's what they worked hard on and that was the final result and that's what they really put their blood, sweat, and tears in and it didn't come out good. But they even said it. The person over the special effects was like, oh, we did that that was purposely done like that. It was supposed to look like that. And then when they called back to it, when all the worlds were colliding, and you saw it again, it's like, okay, now it makes sense why that looked like that. Because it's different worlds. And people have to think about it like this, because you're not in that world or in that moment. This crisp, clean image of like realism, and it's looking like here and now because you're not there. Exactly. So it's almost like you're watching it on TV, and TV is not always clear. People nitpick and stuff like that, but
let me ask you a question to Yeah, I didn't mind the CGI. I'll answer your question. I didn't mind the CGI. I didn't think if it was too much of a problem. I actually liked the distortion.
Yeah.
And I will say that the reverse Flash reveal kind of thing, like, or his evil speedster Flash kind of thing, I called it. Like, I legitimately knew exactly, because like there was a moment when he was like, because I thought it was gonna happen after he found out about the fact that the Barry that we know lost. He can't went back to save his mom. And so when he overheard it, I was like, okay, this is his point. This is his callback. This is where he's gonna be like, I can save him. We can do this because you did it. You know what I'm saying? That him realizing that's why the original Barry came to that universe or was put there. It made him go hard in the end and become the evil speedster. So like when I heard that, I was like, oh, there it is. Because I was like, when's he gonna show up? But I didn't hate the evil speedster like costume. I got why it was the way it was, but I don't know, like it didn't look too great.
I ain't like it.
It didn't look too great. Like I understood it, but I was like, we couldn't work on a better like facial thing, or like you haven't seen. I'm comparing it to Savitar from the
I know
TV
what
show.
You're talking about from the TV show.
The robot, the bulky. You could have done something like that, or at least had some kind of. I get it.
Yeah, because he was running. He kept doing it so many times that I guess the stuff fused with him,
and it became that. And he was like an old man at the end of at the end of the day.
Yeah, it still was weird looking to me. I mean,
it was weird looking.
I get it.
I get it, but at the same time, and it was a creative way to spin the Flash story to where it's like he was the paradox that created. He created the character that eventually created the paradox that led everything to happen the way it did.
Mm-hmm.
So to create himself, the evil Flash, to create himself, he had to kick him out at a certain point in time, so he got his powers to make it loop all the way back around. Mm-hmm. And I like some of the cameos. The Reeves one, I was like, is that stock image, or is that like, did they like get somebody and age him up, or not age him up, but kind of give him the look? The Nick Cage one threw me up for a loop though. The Nick Cage one, I was like, yo, what the fuck? What is this?
I did the George Reeves one, the black and white, because we got to see a Jay Garrick Flash.
Yeah,
so I thought that was cool. Freaking cool. I was like, that's kind of dope. But yeah, the Christopher Reeves one, I was like, yeah, it's a little. It threw me a little off, only because the man is dead. So it's like weird seeing.
When I saw him, I was like, did they pull? I thought at first I thought they pulled like footage. But then I was watching like a Easter egg video after when I got home, like in between the pod and the movie, and they were talking about that they created something for that or whatever, and I was like,
you could.
It wouldn't have been that bad if you got stock image or stock footage or whatever like that. You can put it there, but to recreate it, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm sure they got permission from his family.
I'm sure they did. Or I hope they did. I'll say like
that. Look, I hope. Yeah, I hope they did. Because if they didn't,
that's some disrespectful stuff right there. But I like that the Nicolas Cage one is a callback to the original script with Nicolas Cage in it, where he was supposed to not be able to fly, and he had to fight a giant spider at the end of the movie or something like that. That was like, because what's his name? I think it's Kevin. It's the guy who played Silent Bob. Is it Kevin?
Oh, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I saw an interview of him talking about, because he was going to direct it or something like that. He was a part of it. Mm-hmm. And the guy told him, you can't have him fly. I don't want him in that suit, and he has to fight a giant spider. And that was like a callback to that script.
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know how I feel about a Nicolas Cage long-haired Superman, unless we're talking like when Death of Superman, where he comes back with the black suit and the long hair. Mm-hmm. I could see that working. Like I could get behind it a little.
I just always thought it was weird that Nicolas Cage was going to play Superman.
I think that is like super weird.
I don't think I'd. Oh, I was saying, but now it happened. Man, this thing. But yeah, what else is it?
Oh, Zod was good. Zod, I liked Zod coming back. That was a good overarching like side villain.
Yeah, it was better. It was better than I thought it was gonna be.
I agree.
It definitely was better than I thought it was gonna be. People were saying it was like bad.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
It really could have.
Especially coming from what they had been doing up to that point. It was way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna sit here and say it was the best movie ever. I've heard people say that. I'm like, there's issues, there are things that there are technicalities that I was like, but it wasn't too many that I was like mad about overall. It was like maybe little technical things and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little nitpicking. Like I said, you've been around me a lot now, so now you be going in there and you be looking at the little stuff. I told you, Dmitri,
I
this
really
is a gift
do.
and a curse, man. You be
I do
around me
now.
long enough, you pick up my habits, man.
I do. I know the writing. I know when the writing dips, and I can tell immediately. I'm like, oh, the writing's pretty bad right now. Oh my gosh, this is bad.
Yeah.
I go into the movies now, and I'm just like, don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint me.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, I think, what was I gonna say? I'm glad they didn't really set up the Iris and Barry thing. Like, I'm glad they like let it be a slow burn, like the movie led into it, instead of him like typical movie fashion. Or like by the end of the movie, they're like all over each other and what stuff like that. Like, I'm glad it was like a slow burn. The misunderstanding. He was so awkward, and by the way, confirmed that he's never had sex apparently. Like,
yeah, that was weird though, man. That was weird, bro. That's when I was like, man, I don't know about that, bro. Like that was weird. I'm gonna tell you this. I do not care for this version of the Flash.
I agree.
And it has nothing to do with who the person who's playing him is and what he does outside of this. It has to do with the way they wrote him and the way he's portrayed.
Yeah.
And that's not the Flash.
It really isn't.
He jokes and stuff, but he ain't annoying.
It's like I say. Go ahead, finish your point. I'm sorry. I'm like trying to formulate it, but finish what you were saying.
No, because I was just gonna say he's not annoying to the point where you just be like, God, shut up. The Flash, he normally will say a few words, joke. Batman will be like, not today, Wally. Not Wally, Barry.
Well, you right on that one, because Wally was the one most in the animated universe, right?
Yeah. But as far as Barry, and then I hear a lot of people say this too. We were so spoiled with Grant Gustin's portrayal of the Flash on the TV show.
We were.
I think we were spoiled for so many years with that's what we felt the Flash should be like. And he got on my nerves a lot. Some of the stuff was funny, but like that line about being a virgin, I was like, nah, bro.
Cut it off. Cut it. No, because it's him as being the Flash has always been a weird choice, and being as someone that knows Flash well enough, I'm like, this is more like he's got the way he talks. It's not like a nerdy talk. You know what I mean? It's not like being a nerd, because nerds can be awkward and stuff like that and not understand stuff. But his is like he's overly trying to be like the guy that has no social skills or something like that. But I feel like if you've been in college and even if you've been around a couple people in school, you're not that socially awkward.
You're not.
It's as if he was homeschooled like all the way through his entire years and everything. It seems a little much, and that didn't really hurt the Flash as a movie, but it didn't really sell me on Flash as a person, as the character in the universe. Everybody else covered his ass a lot though. Batfleck, Keaton, Kara, even Aquaman in the post credit, which was a waste of my time.
Yes,
I was so mad about that.
I said, "This is really what y'all gonna give me?" After I sat through 25 minutes of credits,
you gonna give me this line? But
I'm gonna say it like this, D.
Yeah,
I like this movie, but I'm glad this chapter is over.
Yeah, I was hoping. Look, here's the thing. I was hoping instead of swapping out the Batman, they were gonna swap out the Flashes. Like, I thought that was what was gonna happen. Like, he was gonna pull a Cal and it was gonna be Grant, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'd have been like a little girl. I'd have been like, right?
Yeah. But
Grant is. I always say Grant is wasted in the TV show, man.
he
is
is
so wasted.
They dragged that train as long as they could, boy.
They really did.
They rolled that bad boy till the wheels fell off, man.
Because he's a good Flash. He's a good Barry, and he's a great Flash. Like he's perfect. Yeah. I feel like Ezra fits more in the CW universe than he does in the big screen universe. Like with the way he's portraying Barry, it's weird.
Just swap them out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody will know.
Switcheroo.
Nobody knows who's under that cowl. Nobody's gonna know.
But that's just going back to. I would like them to keep her, like, and do another movie. Supergirl.
Yeah.
I would like them to keep her. Keaton, like you said, of course we want more, but of course we know that.
Yeah, we're not getting another Batman movie out of him, and I would refuse de-aging that man. Yeah, like, I don't want to see a de-age anybody. I
think he went out on a good note.
Here's the thing. I like after seeing Batfleck in this one, I'm cool with another Batfleck. I'm cool with.
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, Robert Pattinson's cool. Don't get me wrong. His movie's really grounded and whatever like that, but Batfleck really pulled off a Bruce Wayne in this movie. I remember him talking in an interview, and then when they snipped it or whatever, and he was saying that he finally was able to understand like Batman or Bruce Wayne in this movie. Like he was able to really grasp like the Bruce Wayne persona. Mm-hmm. And I'm right, he did really good. He talked about how Batman's lonely because of his job and what he does, and how his tragedy made him into someone that possibly can't be with people like that.
Yeah.
Because one, the job does that, but also two, the tragedy is just what fuels him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not enough space for somebody to be in that is really what I think he's saying. And I think he's putting it up for Barry not to make the same mistakes as him, like to go for the girl, date Iris, and have a life and outside of this, and have things that that bring you happiness and stuff like that. And don't dwell on the tragedy, because that's what he was talking about. He was like, the tragedy. He's like, the tragedy made you into a superhero, but it made me lonely. Like, exactly. I like that. And I think cool. Go ahead.
I think too with that version, with his version of Batman, I think he's so broken because unlike the comic book Batman, his first Robin got killed.
Mm-hmm.
So that really probably messed him up, because he probably was like, man, I took this kid in, raised him up to be like me, and I let him get killed. And now I really can't, I don't want to keep bringing people into this and they getting killed. So he really probably, I just got to be alone, just me and Alfred. But another thing too I was going to say is, I am so tired of this trope of these multiverse movies where they tell the main character what not. It happened with Doctor Strange, with Peter, telling him you can't do so, and you're gonna break it, the multiverse, and blah blah blah. Bruce did it with him. Doc did it.
Oh yeah, everybody does it. Everybody tells people not to do it. Don't do it.
And they never listen, bro. I just had to get that out there. All these movies, it's the same. They never listen to the old guy.
They never listen to the guy that somehow knows not to do the time traveling thing. Like even Keaton was like, "You were an idiot. Whoever did this was an idiot." Like he explained it so well. I was like, "Damn,
dude, what about him like breaking that shit down though?"
He broke it down in real simple
I ain't gonna lie, I got goosebumps when I heard Michael Keaton talking about the multiverse. I was like, "Ooh," I was like, "Okay, right? Man." Like those are my. I was just happy to see him back, man.
Yeah, I agree. Having Keaton back is great. Because I can say we're not going to get Keaton back again, but I like that he's obviously branched out into different verses. Like he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Vulture, and also he's aviation in two different verses. He's a bat in one, and he's a bird in another one. He sticks close to his bread and butter pretty well.
Yeah, he stay in the air, man.
Oh, dude, his like aerial stuff that he did throughout the movie was amazing.
It was.
That shit was cool. I love how he has the bulletproof cowl. Like his whole thing is like bulletproof. Man. That shit was cool.
That was dope as hell. I really dug that. I dug how the Batwing rotated.
Yeah, it was like
without
spinning.
the cockpit moving. I was like, okay, that's new, that's dope. But
Man,
and
when I
what
saw the
about?
Batwing came down, I sat there and had a little
I
nerd
was
moment.
like,
I was like, ooh.
it's like it's so beautiful. But what about Zod killing Kal-El, killing Superman as a baby?
Dude, that shit was crazy. But I like how it was crazy, and I'm not gonna say I like that he was in it. Let me clarify. I
We do
like
not
that.
condone violence of children here.
No,
Okay.
we do not promote that at the Square Round Table. That's not what we do here. I like that they made the swap of making her the one with the genetic code. Because what I thought was going to happen originally before he revealed that is I thought that they swapped places. Like he got stuck in the place where Kara got stuck in.
Yeah.
When I forget what they call it, but it's like a void world, out of space, whatever, where you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was there, and then she's the one that came and had all this thing. She got intercepted.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have said that shit. You about to get your ass whoops.
I thought they was gonna pull some shit off where he was gonna come out the ship and he's gonna be an evil version of Superman.
Man,
He's gonna be
that
with
should have been
Zod. I
cool.
thought that's what it was gonna be, but I was like, nah, I see why they did it because it gave her that boost to whoop his ass. So
she needed his thing. See, in the Flashpoint movie for people, Superman was pretty slim, if you will.
yeah, he was frail.
And but
But
he still went off in the movie a little bit.
Yeah,
this movie that didn't work because she got the sun in herself and she needed some years of training because Zod whooped her butt. Oh my word.
She got them few licks in, but he got the final one in.
he was playing with her though, because he just pulled himself out the little rubble and just got her real quick. I was like, oh, he was never in danger. And then Keaton took down he tried to take down the big dude, and he was just bombing him. He was
dude, like, every time he would die, when they would go back, I'll be sad. It was sad every time, bro. I was like, the first time I was like, oh man. Then the second time I was like, oh man.
Because he gave that line. He gave the line with that one. Yeah, he gave the line.
When
he talking
about doing it again, I was like, no, bro. I can't take Michael Keaton's Batman dying a third time. I'm gonna walk out of here.
I couldn't take it the second time. I was like, okay. Bro. And then the other Barry was like, we're gonna do it again. I was like, you're gonna do it again. I'm not doing it again. Bro, I'm staying right here.
His ass simping over Supergirl trying to save her. Bro, it ain't supposed to happen, bro.
Hey, if the universe made it live, it'd have been a weird universe where the Flash and the Supergirl were that was a dating couple instead of Iris.
Yeah, that would have
been a different thing, but the universe was never supposed to survive. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say that for a fact because we don't know how much involvement of Barry's thing would have affected that world if he didn't do what he did. But I think the one thing I was like, being I've seen Across the Spider-Verse and I know about canon events, his mom dying is a canon event.
It's a canon event.
I literally said that. I was like, damn, it's a canon event. That sucks.
It has like Bruce Parents is a canon event. Krypton blowing up is a canon event.
Yeah. I was like, can we just get a universe where he's all right? Like, can we get a happy Barry? Like, he doesn't have to become the Flash. He's got his parents and whatnot. Because my boy, he gave that last little moment with his mom, and I was
that was sad as hell.
That was sad.
That was.
I was like,
that was pretty.
I feel sad. That. I was like, hey, if I knew my parent was going to die and I saved her and I have to say goodbye again.
Oh my god.
I'm slowing down time. I'm having these inner moments of saying I love you and all these things I want to say to her, even though she'll never hear them.
Yeah.
And just getting off my chest, and I'll come back and get that last embrace and then have to leave. But I like it that he got his dad off by putting the soup up higher.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was cool.
I was having, but that's a good segue because he did that. We got one of the most. That was like a curveball cameo that I did not see coming.
No.
So when he picked up the phone and I heard the voice, I was like, "Oh, it's still Michael Keaton," because then it sounded like Michael Keaton.
It did, yeah.
Then my boy, freaking smooth ass George Clooney, get out the car with his smooth ass. I said, man. George looked good, man. He looked good. He looked good. Even though I still don't like that Batman, and it wasn't his fault. Because I would say it like this. George wasn't a bad Batman. The movie was bad.
Yeah.
And the way they wrote it was bad. And even Joel Schumacher has said that's not how he wanted his follow-up to be. He wanted to be a darker movie, but the studio kept pushing him to make it more campy because they wanted to sell toys and all this whatnot. So I never put that on George at all because I used to love George Clooney as Batman. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that they did that. We got 3 Batmans out of the movie.
I know, right? As a Batman fan, I was satisfied, even with other stuff. But like I said, of course, it was like little nitpicking things, like you said, like we didn't like. But it wasn't nothing that I, would have to talk about too much because, like, we basically said everything. It wasn't flowing with. This could have been that. But like I said, I'm glad this chapter is closed. I'm excited to see
Agreed.
what James Gunn is gonna come up with as far as like this new DCU, as far as like Superman and the Batman movie. And I'm campaigning all my blurs and nerds out there. Let's campaign for our boy Ackles. What's it? I forget his first name, but Ackles, who would old boy want to play Batman?
You talking about
Jensen.
You talking about voice of Red Hood, right? From the movie, from the animated movie. I think he did it.
Yeah,
the one that played
he voiced Batman.
And you talking about Soldier Boy?
Yeah, Soldier Boy. Let's get Soldier Boy. Not this Soldier Boy, but let's get my boy to play Batman because it looks like he really wants to do it. So I hope he get it because I think
I gotta see him in the cowl, and I always say I gotta see a trailer, but I'm interested. I'm on the fence, but I'm interested in it.
So I'm definitely looking forward to what's coming on the next couple of years. After all that, the nitty gritty, what we liked. Is there anything else? Any last kind of comments you want to make before we go ahead and get this thing a little score?
Final thoughts. I think ultimately, I don't know if I really want to see another Ezra Miller Flash. Like, I don't think I'm like he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But I just want to see somebody else pick up it and give it a try and stuff. Get some new, fresh, they say, blood in there. Because if we're getting rid of every other single like character from the Snyder, I guess it's the Snyderverse, we might as well get rid of him too and recast everybody and get a fresh new start.
Yeah,
I think they should bring Kara to the new verse, and I can't like if what's the name don't get back the role. I would love to at least get a teaser of maybe a little bit of Batfleck again because I was messing with that suit, and we need to get more of that suit in live action because that suit was nice. Cyborg needs to make a role in there somewhere. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. I don't know if I'm either way. I could take it or leave it. I'm either way about that one. He said snippet. But overall, I can give it my rating now because let me give you your last words too. I'm sorry, I didn't want to.
I pretty much said I'm excited for the future of the DCU. See where it's going. I agree with everything you just said. Wonder Woman can go. Shazam can go. Flash can go.
You said the whole thing. The whole DCU could be
keep Batman. Keep Batman. Aquaman, I'm cool. I don't have a problem with Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Yeah, he's cool. I think he did a lot for one, rebranding it, and two, he does a good job of just being Aquaman. He does a good job.
Yeah.
So what you rating it?
I'm gonna give it a strong. I'm talking about like Superman strong.
Okay.
7 out of 10.
And I'm gonna follow suit and give it a 7 out of 10. I don't know if it's strong or not, but it might be have a little bit of kryptonite on it a little bit, but it's a 7. 7 out of 10. Would recommend if you're a Flash fan, get your little Flash, whatever, a Flash buzz going.
Yeah.
But I will say this, as a Flash property or as a solo movie, it isn't the best, I'd say, overall DCEU movie. But it does but it's gonna be an enjoyable watch. You can go on there, watch it, and you're gonna at the very least find some parts of it enjoyable or find something enjoyable about it. I don't think it's the greatest movie of the month or even of the year, but
yeah, it's not at all.
But ultimately, you're gonna at least have a good time. Turn your brain off or keep it very low lit.
Honestly,
and just go in there and enjoy.
What he just said, just turn your damn brain off. Don't go in there with no high expectations, and it being the best superhero film, like all that BS that they've been saying about it, don't go into there with any of them expectations. Turn your brain off. Go watch a movie.
Exactly.
That's as simple as that.
Because none of that comic book stuff really even matters to these movies anyway.
They-
Going in there with the previous
they are
knowledge ain't gonna
telling-
do nothing.
They are telling people to not read comics, to do these movies and shows.
That's was that Marvel that said that?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Y'all in some deep shit with this, cause
I was gonna
you
give
tell
the
us
Jar
not to
Binks
read
reference.
this.
Deep blue.
And on that note,
all right, we're gonna wrap it up.
I'm gonna wrap it up. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna take a pause on this and